Welcome. If you are unsure whether or not homeschooling is right for you and your child, I am going to be explaining all the benefits that homeschooling provides and why, if you can, you should absolutely take part in the homeschooling journey. However, despite all the benefits, figuring out whether homeschooling is right for you and your child depends on various factors. So I will also be explaining how to determine if homeschooling is right for you. Homeschooling gives families the opportunity to educate their children in an individualized approach, based on their children's interests and how their children learn best, as opposed to the one-size-fits-all approach that is used in public schools. There are tons of benefits to homeschooling, so let me get right into it. Tailored education to your child's learning styles, interests, and gifts. You are able to work at your child's pace and give them the best learning style that works for them. If your child attends a public school with each class filled with students, they will not be able to get the individualized attention they need. They will also not be learning from a curriculum that best fits how they learn best, because public schools provide a one-size-fits-all type of education. So homeschooling allows your child to be taught exactly how they learn best, and all the focus will be on them, which is essential to motivate and guide them to success. More freedom and flexibility. Freedom to travel, suit work hours better, access to learn about anything, anywhere, at any time. I don't know about you, but I would love nothing more in this world than to be able to travel freely with my family. So if you are blessed with a great work situation that allows for this, but having your child attend a public school is holding you and your family back from this lifestyle, then I highly recommend homeschooling. Homeschooling gives you and your family all the freedom and flexibility you can imagine. Want to book that trip to Italy while your child is still able to get that learning time in? Absolutely possible if they're homeschooled, where they have access to learn anywhere at any time. Or if you have unusual work hours that just aren't working with the public school hours, homeschooling solves that issue. Maybe you just can't possibly pick your child up from school at 3 p.m. every day. You don't want them to walk home from school by themselves yet. Aftercare programs are just too much financially. By homeschooling, you choose when and where your child learns that best fits your schedule. Prioritizing your child's mental, behavioral, physical, and emotional health. Let's start with mental health. Public schools do not always have great effects on students' mental health. Kids can be mean and teachers can be mean. If you want to learn more about the negative effects public schools have on mental health, I have linked a blog in the description. You will also be able to make sure that they are physically active in the way they want. And I actually can't stress enough how important this is. Do they love a certain sport? Sign them up for it. Do they love running? Go on a run with them every day. Physical education at public schools are, again, more of a one-size-fits-all type of thing. I attended a public school and I can remember countless times in gym class where I just dreaded it because I would often have no other option than to play softball when I loved tennis and volleyball. I know it sounds silly, but I was terrible at softball and felt incredibly humiliated by it. I was never motivated or getting much physical activity, and it was all around a damaging experience for me. I remember having gym class first period one year, and I remember always trying to go to school late so I could purposely miss whenever I just felt too exhausted to deal with it, and students should never feel this way. So again, you know your child best. You know their interests, what makes them happy, what they dislike, and based on this, through homeschooling, you are able to prioritize their well-being. You're completely in charge. You have the freedom to choose their curriculum, learning approach, schedule, grade level, and more. By homeschooling, you're in charge of your kids, not the school administrators. You can choose how your child learns based on how you believe they can become the best version of themselves. No public school teacher knows your child like you do. You know what's best for them. And even if you don't, you can always get support and guidance to understand what is best for them. And you have all control over making it their reality. If you are struggling with this, please don't hesitate to message me. I have linked my email in the description. Either way, public schools do not allow you to have any control over any of this. And if this highly concerns you, then homeschooling may be for you. allows for meaningful and efficient learning. You can offer support, love, and meaningful connections behind lessons. That's right, only a parent's love can offer truly meaningful connections behind lessons. Having your child enrolled in a public school doesn't allow for this, when they are being taught by other teachers who have tons of other children to teach as well. They may like other teachers, I'm sure, but it's just not the same as being taught by your own parents. The opportunity to provide more engaging and hands-on learning, such as spending more time outside, implementing more arts, projects, experiments, and more. Now, this is one of my personal favorite benefits that homeschooling provides. I believe that a fun and engaging hands-on learning experience is the best way for all children to learn, no matter their learning style. Plus, homeschooling allows you to incorporate the type of hands-on learning that involves STEAM, science, technology, engineering, art, and math. This you cannot get in most public schools. So I have linked in the description a blog that I highly recommend you read. It explains why a STEAM education is so amazing and essential for students. And for those of you living in or near Hiram, Georgia, you are in luck. Time for Homeschool's Homeschool and STEAM Center provides a range of programs for your child to get this hands-on learning into their homeschool curriculum. I have linked in the description where you can learn more about their programs. Ability to accommodate to certain family situations that would prove difficult in a public school setting, such as military families, traveling families, challenging work schedules, etc. Not all families have situations that fit with the schedule that public schools provide. Like I mentioned before, homeschooling gives families with trickier work situations that freedom and flexibility. Children can socialize with positive influences in a chosen environment. Children who are homeschooled will constantly be around positive influences and positive environments. Public schools can't always provide all this positivity. By homeschooling your child, they won't have to worry about bullies or any negative energy whatsoever. They will be in a safe, fun, and loving environment at all times while learning. Prevents stress and burnout for children. Homeschooled children are way less likely to experience nearly as much stress and burnout as public school children usually do. By simply being around their loving and supportive family every day, children will feel much more at ease while learning. Personally, most of the stress that I experienced during elementary, middle, and high school was due to being at a public school. Teachers made me feel stressed, the lack of personalized support made me feel stressed, and often other kids made me feel stressed about the social aspect of attending school. Again, with burnout, when a child is not learning in their correct way with their learning style, it is much easier for them to feel bored, lack motivation, or feel overworked or overwhelmed. By homeschooling your child, you can make sure that they are constantly engaged and truly make them love learning. It is absolutely possible. The kids at Time for Homeschool's STEAM and Homeschool Center have so much fun that they don't even realize they're learning sometimes. A lot of times, they're having so much fun with their friends that they don't even want to leave when the school day's over. And they're always learning throughout it all. Take a look at what I'm talking about.
Not mine.
Your word, not mine.
Okay.
You start on the end.
That in my so.
Ooh, it is like.
Can I drink it though?
So explain.
Okay, so first I put this,
Which is
the pain,
the Alka-Seltzer.
and then I put the oil, and then I put the water.
Do you have to mix it up?
Oh, look how it's curving. Did you see it?
I'm not gonna do that. And it stinks.
I do?
What do you have peppermint? I don't have another.
So did you get a different reaction with the Alka-Seltzer first?
Yeah, because I tried to put in the oil first and then that, but that didn't work.
So first, Consider all the benefits that I mentioned that homeschooling provides. Even if just one of the benefits stands out to you and has you thinking, wow, that would be nice, then homeschooling may be the right approach for you. However, there are a few things that need to be considered first. Homeschooling may not be right for you if you need to or would rather save money by choosing a tuition-free public school. You cannot offer your child the stigma and support they would need. You don't think you would be able to meet the state's requirements. Your child is begging you not to homeschool them. When it all comes down to it, no matter how much you truly want to homeschool your child or believe it is the best option for them, I highly recommend listening to them and involving them in the decision. Schooling a child who does not want to be homeschooled may not make for the best homeschooling journey and could damage your relationship with them. It should never be forced on a child. You are often disorganized. If you choose to homeschool your child, I highly recommend that you are a very well-organized person, because homeschooling requires a lot of organizational skills to make sure it all goes smoothly. You are not willing to get them involved in social situations. Socialization and homeschooling should never be an issue as long as you are taking the responsibility to make sure your child is as involved as possible in their social lives. I have a blog linked in the description that you should read to get some great socialization opportunity ideas. If you think homeschooling is right for you, but you don't feel 100% confident in your teaching abilities or in teaching certain subjects, this is not an issue at all. I will explain. In this case, I recommend having your child join a homeschool program. So I've linked a blog in the description that teaches you all the benefits of having your child join a homeschool support program and some amazing options out there. The decision of whether or not to homeschool your child requires a lot of thought, which is why I am here to help you. By emailing me, I have linked it in the description, I will help you make the best decision for you and your family with confidence. Now, after hearing all the benefits and reasons to homeschool, while making sure homeschooling is right for you, you should follow these steps to getting started. Step 1. Decide on the best curriculum for your child. Step 2. Choose your curriculum provider. Step 3. Get all the resources you will need. Step 4. Become a part of a homeschool support group or program. I have linked 2 blogs in the description. One is a highly recommended homeschool curriculum, and the other is how to get started homeschooling with this curriculum and the best resources out there. If you need any individualized support or have any questions about our programs, please don't hesitate to email me. I've linked it in the description. I would love to hear from you and give you all my advice and recommendations. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this video helped you.